So firstly, let me acknowledge everyone that's online. I know my colleagues are watching. I want to extend thanks to the members of the CA department for organizing this event and for extending an invitation to Transparency International PNG. As formalities, I really want to acknowledge the presence of His Excellency, Mr. Richard Hart Jr., the resident coordinator of the UN, President Father Gibbs, Dean of the FASS, Sister Miriam, CAHRD, Dr. Aine, and Mr. Matlock as well, he's coming in the room. And of course, renowned and respected journalists, but glad to be sharing this event with you. Firstly, let me introduce myself. As introduced, my name is Yvonne, and I am here representing Transparency International PNG. I lead TIPNG's communication team. And as a former student, I'm also honored to be back here at DWU to share TIPNG's reflections on press freedom at this occasion. Please allow me to tell you a little bit about Transparency International PNG and what we do. So TIPNG, we are a non-government membership-based organization that raises awareness on the dangers of corruption and what we can do to minimize tolerance of it. Our vision is to be PNG's leading, reputable, and well-established anti-corruption organization, working with like-minded individuals and organizations to devise ways to combat corruption. So our mission is really to empower people to take action on corruption, and we do that through the programs that we run right across all sectors. We work with government, schools, civil society organizations, the youth, to implement ideas on how we can empower people to reject corruption whenever they're faced with it. Now, you may have heard of Transparency's, TIPNG's recent advocacy on the draft media policy that the government has put out. And I'd like to provide you a little bit more context on our involvement. As the resident coordinator talked about us protecting our freedom of the media freedom that we have. So I just want to talk a little bit about the draft media policy that is currently being reviewed, that is currently being pushed forward by our government. So as background, on the 5th of February this year, the Department of Information, Communication and Technology circulated for public consultation a draft media policy. So hands up those of you who have actually had a chance to look at this. Good. So as the policy stated that the stated aim of the policy was to address the issues affecting the ability of the media to effectively perform its role in the service of public interest and democratic processes. However, Transparency International PNG and other groups expressed concerns that the policy included provisions that would compromise our independence, or particularly of media organizations, particularly newsrooms. So this concern was critical because when the government put out this policy and asked for a review, they only gave the country 2 weeks to provide feedback to this review. So TIPNG put forward 3 recommendations, 3 high-level recommendations. One was that there must be proper, genuine, and meaningful consultation, and this should be more than 2 weeks. Number 2, that any policy produced must be well informed on the role of the media as the fourth estate and advocate a self-regulating model. And number 3, we recommended that the government should focus on upskilling journalism students and media professionals and protection of journalists from political and corporate censorship. And as of, I think it was Wednesday this week, we acknowledged that the minister put out a full-page advert in the National. So So our first recommendation has been taken up. So the Minister has stated that there will be a national survey across the country to gauge public views on this policy. He also said that regional workshops will be run to get views of the public, and then finally a draft of the third draft of the bill would be submitted to NEC by the end of this month or June. So I encourage you all who have been following this, when the consultation comes to our region or to our province, please engage in the process so that we can do our part to protect our press freedom. So World Press Freedom Day is an occasion that should be used by communities and the world to remind governments about their commitment to freedom of the media and the role that the media plays as the fourth estate. In democratic countries like our country, the media becomes a tool for accountability. So in Papua New Guinea, where governance is lacking or is weak, the work of the media is crucial because it helps us to hold our governments, our people in power accountable for the decisions that they make. Accountable for the decisions they make on behalf of the people, accountable for the use and misuse of the money, public funds, which is the tax that we pay, accountable for the deteriorating government services, such as the conditions of our hospitals, overcrowding and poor facilities of our schools, and the very poor state of our public services, where it is a case of who you know or how much you're willing to pay. And accountable for the decisions that have caused our country to go further into debt, weakened our economy, and have contributed to the rising cost of living that our families, that our people are currently facing. So much of these problems that I've just mentioned are symptoms of corruption, or have been made worse because of the presence of corruption. But freedom of the media, the good news is the freedom of the media and freedom of expression is able to expose all of this. I want to conclude here by closing with a quote from the founder of Transparency International Papua New Guinea, Sir Anthony Sieguru, and what he said about the power of the media, or the power of the press. The press is a beacon. It both casts light and acts as a symbol. It is a visible sign of the continuing existence of our rights. Should the beacon begin to dim because of attempts by some in high places to shade the light that it provides, then this is a warning sign. It is a warning sign for us all to look out for those rights we seem to set so little store by in Papua New Guinea, but which once won would be sorely missed. With that, I hope I've given you something to think about, and thank you so much.